Hello everyone, Randy here, and today we're going to be upgrading the cooler in my server here, or what I call a server anyway. Just basically a bunch of storage in this computer with a all-in-one cooler here. Currently just has a kind of, I think it's a stock cooler on here, and we found it crashes every now and then, and we suspect it's because the CPU is overheating. So hopefully that will solve that. So let's get started here. Okay, so this is an NZXT case here. Very, very quiet case. Oh, okay, so not really exactly a stock cooler, but slightly upgraded from a stock cooler, not much better. You can see a whole rack of hard drives in here. Let's see, there's 4 there and another 6 of them here. So, what is that, 10 hard drives total right there. Quite a mess of wiring laying down there to be able to wire up all the hard drives. An extra SATA card in there to be able to plug all the hard drives in. All 8 SATA ports on the motherboard are populated there. It's got I believe that's a GTX 250 in there, so a bit of an older card. Anyway, let's get this open and take a look at it. So this is a Corsair H75 all-in-one water cooler in here. Basically radiator and pump all in one. Really convenient, by the way, for those of you who maybe don't want to go full-blown water cooling, which is definitely a lot of work, and you gotta be really careful with it. This is kind of the trade-off here. Much easier. Just obviously doesn't give you quite the flexibility because you're gonna have to have room in your case for it. So hopefully we do. It looks like we should here. The only issue might be, I think we're good on top and bottom. Comes with 2 fans, so this is, okay, a push-pull design on the radiator. We got 1 fan in there. I'll probably take this one out and just replace it with both of those. Let's see, it's a bunch of bracken. It does fit the AM4, by the way, for those of you wondering, which is the Ryzen CPU, at least it's supposed to be anyway. 2 fans, Corsair fans. Very heavy, I might note. Very heavy fans. That's packing material. And here's the cooler itself. And like I was saying, this is what you got to keep in mind with this type of system. Obviously, you don't have quite the flexibility. There's only so far this can be from the CPU. So obviously, and at least on most systems, it's going to have to be mounted right there. In this case doesn't have any top mount on it, so it's, I think the only location you can mount it on this case is right there. There's what goes on the CPU, a 120mm radiator, and like I said, 2 fans designed for push-pull, so one on each side. Okay, hardware-wise in the hardware pack here, this appears to be a top plate. That's probably what's going to lock around this, I'm assuming anyway. Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, there's actually, okay, 1 on it, so it probably depends on which type of cooler you're going to be putting on, or what type of system, AMD or Intel. Appears to be some sort of back bracket. I'm hoping we don't have to get behind this motherboard here, hopefully. That would definitely mean a lot more work tearing that all out. AM4 screws, apparently. AMD screws. Unlabeled bag of hardware. I don't know if that's supposed to be Intel or if that's just universal here. Fan screws. You can tell those are really long to go through the fan and into the radiator. And then, of course, at least on the back side here, through the back of the case, the fan and the radiator. And then looks like just an extension cable. Does come with the wire here. You can plug this into probably the motherboard. I don't know if that would necessarily be such a wise idea on this. We'll have to see once here. Obviously a little bit of a draw on this, so you're probably actually better off plugging it in maybe straight to the power supply. We'll see what we got for options here. Okay, we'll see if we get the old cooler off here. Just spring-loaded clips on there, I do believe. Current system, by the way, is an AMD. I believe this is the AMD 3 socket. An 8-core CPU clocked at 4 gigahertz per core. There we go. And that plugs in right up there. So yes, current cooler. Yeah, it probably would help if we cleaned it. It's actually not that bad if you look in there. There's a little bit of dust, but not too bad actually. This is a Thermaltake R1TT, I guess, cooler. We originally had this in the server before we had smaller hardware. It was probably okay for that, but now the 8-core CPU in there, probably not quite enough to keep up. In fact, it is actually quite warm. Okay, probably should clean the goop that is on there off, and then see what we gotta do for mounting this. Like I said, hopefully we don't have to get behind the motherboard here. I don't want to do that if we don't have to. Okay, per the directions here, we have to take off the current mounting brackets that are on there. I believe those come pre-installed with the motherboard, and then install these standoffs here, the AMD standoffs. Okay. Those go in there then, I guess. And same thing up top. And we'll install the standoffs. I think it looks like they're the same from what I can... Oh, no, they're not quite. So you got a fine thread and a coarse thread end. Coarse thread goes into the existing bracket here. Which I know doesn't seem quite right because it's actually quite loose on there. I guess once it pulls to the CPU it'll be tight, but it would be nice if that back bracket would stay tight on there. Okay, I was just looking at the bracket options here. I'm actually switching from, this is the AMD bracket here. I am switching to the AM4 bracket. I like this installation a little bit better because it actually holds that back plate to the motherboard tight. With this design, that back plate stays loose, and I don't quite like that. So I'm going to switch to these here. Got one on already, and I'll put the other 3 on in a moment. Okay, next thing we need to do is switch the bracket that's on it. It comes pre-installed with the AMD bracket. We need to put the it comes with the Intel bracket installed. We need to put the AMD bracket on it. And be careful we don't mess up the thermal paste on there if we can help it. So if I got this right, a couple tabs here we need to undo. Right there. There's 4 of them. And then I was looking too at the orientation. That's something we're going to have to watch as well. And it looks like we're probably going to want to put the pump in this orientation. Yes, I know that puts the logo. Actually, does this rotate? No, it doesn't. Okay. Probably would have to put it like that from the looks of it. I don't think it's quite going to fit like this. It'll be really close, maybe. Yeah, we could try it like that, maybe. Like I said, it's going to be really close. So put the bracket on here. Goes on like that. Snap this ring back on. Okay, there we go. I think we're actually ready to install this here then. Okay, it just fits there. And I probably should have got the screws out of the bag here. Next, I think these are spring-loaded thumb screws for tension. And 4 of those. This bracket, by the way, goes behind the Intel boards, for those of you wondering. So I've got an Intel board, that's where that bracket goes. So yeah, if you had an Intel system, probably not such a good day, because you'd have to pull the whole motherboard out to install this. at least if you're doing an already installed system. Just kind of evenly tighten these down here, by the way. Okay, that appears to be tight. Now I just need to get the fan installed. I'll take the old fan off here. Pull the wire to that. Currently a Silence fan. Definitely like those brand of fans, by the way. And that, like I said, was just mounted with rubber mounts there. Wasn't actually screwed in. And it actually kind of helps reduce vibration and supposedly sound as well. So, we'll mount one fan on there. And the long screws for that, I'm assuming these are all the same length. Find out here. Yes, looks like they're all the same length for those, or 8 of those, 4 per fan with washers. Something you need to watch, by the way, if you're using your own fans, make sure they're thick enough, or the screws are short enough that they don't puncture into the radiator, by the way. Obviously not a good day if you do that. Okay. And that fan on that side. There we go. That actually wasn't too bad. Well, actually, maybe I want that. Nope, I need to change that here. Got the fan wire not quite coming out where I wanted it. Rotate it around 90 there. Okay, try that again. Okay, one last screw to go here. And if it's the last screw, hopefully it'll line up, right? Hey, look at that, it does. Perfect. Make sure I got those fans going that way. Yes, that should be right. That probably would be rather interesting if you got the fans blowing opposite directions. Both blowing in or both blowing out, that probably would not work so well. Okay, I guess we're going to go ahead and just plug this into the CPU header here for the fan. For the moment anyway. There's one more header over here for that. Oh, these are 4 wires, only 3 wire plugs on here. Interesting. No, maybe instead I'm going to put this one over here. This one can go up top then. And I just need one more spot to plug this fan in then. Any more fan headers around? Oh yeah, there is down there. Is that going to reach? No, but you know what? I got an extension cable. Let's see, is that going to work? Oh, we can actually plug, okay. You can actually plug both fans into this then. Nice. Let's do that. Just like that. And you know what? I might have to clean up that wiring just a little bit here, go around there, down there. And I'm going to go into the system fan header here for now, I guess. Let's see. You know what? Maybe we do want to keep it in the CPU fan. Because that way, I'm pretty sure this motherboard probably controls the CPU fan, I would assume. Seeing as how this actually is connected to the CPU. Rethinking this a little bit, I guess. There we go. That should be connected. Okay, so I think we're good here.